turn this up. It's good to see you. Welcome. Come on in. Take a seat. Get comfy. So how's your day been? Welcome to Positively Shannon. Yeah, that's it. I've been very positive today. So yeah, Freudian slip, but hey, it's the truth. And we keep it honest here on Positively Spiritual. So welcome. Come on in. My name is Shannon Gilmore, and you are watching Positively Spiritual with Positively Shannon. Woo! No, truthfully, I am a positive person, and I'm feeling very positive today. So it feels good to be positive. So, yeah, you're in a good spot. You're a good place to be as, hey, hi, Jessica. Nice to see you. And it's nice to meet you on Facebook. Hi. Um, so, yeah, here on Positively Spiritual, we kind of get involved in the nuts and bolts of things. And while we do, well, I do, I I like to unpack the psychological aspect of narcissism. But I also like turning that psychology on its head and just not reinventing the wheel, but just lining it up with the word of God and seeing what God has to say. And the more I do that, the more I'm just amazed how God is coming through for all of us. And God is really shining a light in the darkness. Excuse me. He's really shining a light on the truth of the psychological aspect of narcissism and us too. And, you know, it's not always about poking the finger at the narcissist and blaming them. You know, it's about looking at their behavior so we can see our own behavior and see where we need to correct ourselves. That's not a bad thing. Just let me turn this down a little bit. I like the music, but it sometimes gets a little bit distracting. So this, I don't know, I think today's video is going to be like a part 1 of life's little secret that keeps you safe from the narcissist bullseye. You know, because we're told that, hi Joe, nice to see you. Welcome, come on in. Hi, it's good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. You know, psychologists like to say that narcissists like to target us. And while they do, they're not so, I don't know, they're not so snake in the grass and predatory as we like to give them credit for. This is a spiritual thing. Both of us, we who are the ones who need the narcissist and the narcissist who needs us, we both gravitate to each other. So we need to figure out why and how that happens, and the Bible tells us. Not in so many words. We've got to go and research this on our own, and you know, we've been figuring it out. We've been figuring it out a lot. And these past few months have just been mind-blowing. And I'm hoping that with this video that I'm about to share with you, I'm hoping that you can at least take this information and apply it to what you guys got coming up. Christmas and holidays and New Year's and all these festivities that you're going to be sharing with your family time. Oh, that dreaded family time. I don't have that problem anymore, guys. So, yeah. I ditched holidays a long time ago. I'm not a person that celebrates Christmas or Easter or, you know, Santa Claus and all of that stuff. But if you guys do, well, you know, I feel for you. If you guys are under the, you know, if you guys are under this tenser the tension band-aid of, you know, having to do this and not wanting to visit Aunt Martha because of her narcissistic ways, and Pops, well, he's just so involved in his ways, you can't change him. You know, I get it. I know. It's unnerving. So I'm hoping that with this video, you guys will be able to just take this insight and apply it. Because I'm convinced this insight that I'm going to share with you, it's what we've already known, but we didn't know it to apply it. And now that we're seeing it through other videos, we're really seeing, you know, we're taking steps to really seeing our spirituality and our divinity here. And so I'm hoping that at least you'll be able to apply this, and you'll be able to water off a duck's back when your family starts dishing the dirt at Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner table. Hi, Wedding Mystic. It's nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in. Hi. How you doing? Hope you had a good day. I hope everybody had a good day today. I'm a little bit tired, so that's why I'm kind of rambling. I apologize. I'm just a little bit tired. I did a 2-hour walk today. Yay me. Gotta stay up. Gotta stay active, you know. I love exercising, so I'm just a little bit tired tonight, but that's okay. We're gonna get through this. If you guys can just bear with me, my long-winded, and I'm not so animated right now, so I'm just feeling like I want to just go to sleep, go cuddle up somewhere warm. I got caught in the rain when I was walking, so, but it's still nice out for November weather here in Canada, so let me just begin. Oh, Joe doesn't celebrate the holidays either, and neither does Jessica. Okay. My birthday is between Christmas and New Year's. Awesome. That's awesome. Well, I hope we get to spend your holidays with you. I mean, I'll be here. I'll be here all through it, out the holidays. We won't stop, you know, because I don't stop for holidays. So my energy's clear. That's why. You know, personally, I am feeling better today than I have in a long while. Like, these videos are really helping me, and I know they're helping you also, but they are really clearing my mind and clearing the air, so to speak. And you know, I, like last night and yesterday, I was telling myself, I am happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And, you know, I was able to go for my 2-hour walk today and relatively stay in the now, the moment of now. And I was aware of my surroundings. I was aware of my body, how I was feeling. I was aware of my breath, and I was aware of my steps. And I just took it in without even thinking about negative things and worrying. It was really a beautiful experience. So I'm really glad that you guys are here, and I'm glad you guys are, you know, moving along with me in your healing. So okay. So yeah, we got to stay out of our heads, right? Yeah, it's hard to do. Okay, so let's get on with this. The life's little secret that keeps the narcissist from bullseyeing you. You know, you stay out of the narcissist's bullseye. Well, did you know that there is an incredible aspect of you that you are not seeing? Okay, you think that the narcissist holds something that you lack. I mean, I've often said to myself, you know, I've looked at the narcissist and I see their charisma and I see their no fear attitude, and I'm like, I want that. I want that. And so we gravitate to people who kind of inspire us. And I'll admit the narcissist is inspiring. Some of them are, oh, They are so inspiring, it's not even funny. And you feel that energy and you want that energy. And you think to yourself, well, what do I have that the narcissist, you know, what does the narcissist what does the narcissist have that I don't have? Or what don't I have that the narcissist has? Like, you're just questioning everything when you're around this charismatic, I can't even say my voice. See, I'm tired. I can't even say my words. I'm just like in blah. I'm just like, I'm mush. Okay? I'm mush. That's what God does to you. He mushes you all up, makes you mush. But it's a good thing. Okay, so let me start again. So you know what I'm trying to say, that for me, oftentimes I'll see a narcissist that catches my eye, and they are so charismatic, and they are so, bold and brazen. And hi, Alma, how you doing? You're right, they don't have empathy. Exactly. That's the thing that they don't have that we have. Exactly. And, I've often thought, before I understood all of this, I often thought to myself, well, the narcissist has something that I want. I can learn from them. They can teach me. They can teach me how to be charismatic. They can teach me how to be, bold and boisterous and bodacious. Like, they can teach me how to be no fear, to show no fear. And no, they don't. They don't teach you anything that's good, because the only thing that rubs off onto you from them is negativity. So you may think that the narcissist holds something that you lack, but think again. In this video today, kind of think of it as a masterclass, maybe, that you've been waiting for, as this video is going to share something with you that we never thought of. Yeah, they do. They weaponize your empathy against you. Hi, Alma. Nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in, dear. Welcome. Thank you for sharing. This is awesome. Yeah, they use your empathy against you. Exactly. So, it's when you take the lessons to heart, especially the lessons in this video, you're gonna see exactly, because this is the video that you've been waiting for. If you're running alongside with me with all these videos so far the past couple of months, then you're gonna get this video. And if not, that's okay. I'm gonna say when you get this, not if, it's when you get this, you will apply these teachings. And starting today, starting right now, you're gonna unlock your own magnetism. You're gonna unlock your own je ne sais quoi. You're gonna unlock your own flavor flav of what makes you tick. There's nothing in the narcissist that you need. There's nothing in them that you need. Seriously, you've got it all going on, brother or sister. Seriously, you've got it all together already. You just don't know it. And that's what we're going to unpack in this video. What I'm going to share with you in this video is, your gift. It's free, so take advantage of it. It's not going anywhere, so download it if you can. If you want to, you have my permission. Listen to it over and over again until it resonates. Because everything that you've been searching for, the healing, the way out, they say the way out, you got to go in. Well, you're it. You're everything. You're the answers you've been looking for. Now, I know that kind of sounds sketchy, so just bear with me here. This isn't woo-woo. This isn't esoteric. It's okay. God bless all of you guys, too. Thank you, Jessica, for that. So, You are everything that you have ever desired and ever will desire. Now, that kind of sounds weird. Really? I beg to differ, Shannon. Well, you know, this channel is bringing out of you the you that you already are, but you're not yet seeing. Do you guys know that? Have you witnessed that or seen that or noticed that lately? So it's time for you to see your potential. What you're going to find in this video, it's for you. And it's not something that you're going to find anywhere else. I mean, probably church teaching is going to say this is woo-woo. I mean, I've had, okay, I wrote a book called Body and Soul, The Necessity of Food, and it's a book that shares with you the toxins in our food to help you eat right according to God's plan. Okay, there's no diet or anything, it's just information that helps you to eat wisely and make informed decisions about your eating habits and what you want to consider food. Well, I tried to get that into the churches, and I had a church pastor say, you know what, I'm glad that God has helped you eat healthy and you're living right now. I'm so glad to hear that, but you know what, you're just reading too much into the Bible. Okay, I guess you don't want to be set free then. That's your choice. And that's the same thing with this video. If it's not resonating with you, it's fine. It's not for everybody. But all I'm asking is, if you please listen with your spiritual ears and see this for what it is with your spiritual eyes. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Oh, you tried to get communication skills into the churches and they dismissed you too. Yeah, see, so what's up with that? What's up with that? So, what I'm going to ask you, Woody, I'm going to put you in the spotlight right now. So, have you pursued that? Have you gone outside the thought outside the box, drew outside the lines, and just, decided to do whatever it is that you need to do to help people gain communication skills and just sideline the churches? I'd like to hear what you did. Yes, I did, and it failed. You know what? Can I invite you to email me and tell me your story? Because I'm really interested, because I have a workbook, several actually, on communication skills. And I'd just like to pick your brain. So if you want, we can talk and maybe collaborate. If that's something that you're interested in, I'm game. I'm up for it. I like to pick your brain and hear your thoughts. So you were on Meetup, people signed up and didn't show up, or showed up and didn't want to participate that much. I know, Meetup sucks. It's a good concept, but yeah, I was finding that too. Meetup was kind of sucky. So they are closed-minded of sorts. What has worked for them is what they believe. Yeah, exactly. And the churches don't, like I said, excuse me, some churches have like a 501(c) or whatever it is, tax bracket or tax loopholes or whatever it is with the government. So many churches have a board of directors that they have to answer to. So the board of directors don't like bringing in anything new. So, with that said, we're the church. We're the church. And we go over their heads, because guess who is our authority? Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, is our authority. So when he says they can't control it, they couldn't control Shannon's food insights or my communications teachings. Yeah, I went on Blog Talk. I was interviewed by a scientist with my book. He went through my book because I wanted to make sure that it was scientifically sound, and he said, yeah, it is. He goes, the only thing I don't agree with is the GMO product in it. You slam GMOs. And he basically said that on air. 2 months later, GMO product out in the news was getting a bad rap. It was known to be problematic. So I was just like, feather in my cap. Woo. But yeah, like, you have to do what you have to do, and you have to, go where God leads you. And sometimes churches isn't where we're supposed to go. Contrary to, it sounds like, yeah, go to the churches. That'd be the first place we look, but no. So what you're going to find in this video is meant just for you. You're not going to find it anywhere else. But all you need to do is just listen to this video with your spiritual ears and see with your spiritual eyes, because I promise that this message is for you. It's meant for you. Watch this video again and again until these spiritual truths resonate deeply within you. So, it doesn't need to be complicated, and I don't want to complicate the issue, but yet it's going to be complicated for some of you. This message may not make sense. You're going to be like, say what? Say what? I don't get that. Well, we'll break it down for you. I think this is going to be in 2 parts. Tonight is part 1. Tomorrow night will be part 2. So, if you implement these teachings, if you just implement this understanding, you're going to stay safe. Because after all, this is, do you guys know what season this is? You know what season this is? It's called cuffing season. It's cuffing season. This is the time the narcissist tries to lure you in very quickly so that they're not left alone for the holidays. But then once the holidays are over, you're ditched. You're dumped. Yeah, you're ghosted. You're stonewalled. You're discarded. And that freaking hurts. So when you listen closely, you're going to get rid of the distraction that the narcissist tries to sideline you with. Those love bombing phrases. So I will warn you that this teaching is going to challenge your ego. So don't hear with your ego mind. Listen with your open heart. So you ready? So I've shown you already how to be present in the here and now in the other videos. I've shown you how you can ground yourself by focusing on your breath. It's just simple breathing, it's just slowing your breath down. And this actually shifts your attention from everything outside of you to the sound that your breath is making. And so as you listen to your breath, itchy nose. As you listen to your breath, breathe in and breathe out. I want you to shift between listening to my voice and listening to the sound of your breath to stay fully present in the here and now. Because I'm here to tell you that the narcissist wants you to believe that you are everything that you are not right now, in this moment. In this moment, you are everything. You are everything that you've ever wanted to be. You are everything that you could be, everything you can be. You are limitless in these possibilities that contain right here, right now for you. See, everything that the narcissist wants you to believe, well, it's a lie. They want you to believe that they have everything and you lack everything, so you need to go to them. you need them. Well, here's the truth. That's a lie. A lie is a lie is a lie. Everything that comes out of the narcissist's mouth is a lie. Everything. Everything the narcissist says and does is rooted in deceit. So once you grasp this, everything else that I'm about to share with you is going to fall into place. So here's the foundation. You already are magnetic. You are magnetic. You already are what you desire and what you want to be. Just because you haven't seen it yet in yourself doesn't mean that it's not happening. I mean, things are happening in the spirit all the time. We can't perceive them, we can't see them, we can't hear them, but that doesn't invalidate the spiritual realm, right? Well, here's something new. You cannot unbecome who you already are. See, the narcissist and the trauma that comes with that has tricked you into believing that you are not as good as what you want to be. And maybe some of you even believe that you're not even worthy of Christ dying on the cross for you. It's done. You can't undo that. It's done. You can't, no matter how much you protest that, no matter how much you say, oh, no, God, not me. I'm not good enough. No matter how much you protest that, you can't argue with God. It's done. He decides. He knows your heart. Excuse me. He created you from his thoughts, so he knows your innermost being better than you do. You really want to argue with God? Okay, but you're not going to get very far. I know, I've tried. I've been a foster kid, for goodness sake. So when God says that he treats us as adopted children, I said to him, you know, God, I don't know what it's like to have a dad, so I don't know what it's like to trust you. And I did. I tested God, not on purpose, but it's human nature. Like a foster or an adopted child, if they know that they're adopted or a foster kid, they will rebel against that family as a self-fulfilling prophecy of saying, I'm not worthy. You guys are going to send me back because I'm bad. See, and when it happens, it's like, yeah, see, the family sent me back, so I'm bad. Nobody wants me. So that's what I did with God. I argued with him. I fought with him. I never won. I never got my way. I just loathed myself more because I was rooted in self-pity, and my ego took over, and I let my ego drain me and beat me up and emotionally, rake me over the coals. But that didn't stop God from loving me. He loved me more because he's like, oh, you poor, pitiful girl. You just need love, don't you? But I didn't know how to take God's love. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know what unconditional love looks like because I didn't have it for myself. So how could I recognize it? And none of us do. And so we push God away. And when we push God away, we end up running from him as we end up running from ourselves. Yeah, or those of us with abusive or neglectful parents. Exactly, Woody. Yeah, I'm sorry. But that's what we do. Like, our trauma dictates our behavior, and our trauma dictates our outlook on life and what we think about of ourselves. It's normal. Doesn't mean it's right, but this is just the way it is. And the narcissist tricked you into believing that you're nobody. Because the narcissist invoked all these feelings that were already inside of you, and they just brought all these negative feelings to the surface, and your brain thinks that, okay, if your body's feeling something, if you're feeling an emotion, then therefore it must be your reality, it must be true. your brain cannot tell the difference between reality or fantasy. It's the feelings that you give to your experience, whether it's a thought in here or an experience outside of yourself. You put feeling to it, then it's cemented. It's your reality. It's your experience. And the narcissist, well, they're liars. And their lies caused you unknowingly to run away from yourself so that you would never see the truth. That you already embody everything you seek. Now, this is a spiritual truth. So let's just dive into it carefully. I mean, very carefully. Because to unlock the you that's been hidden behind the lies, it's going to take a little bit of work. It's going to take a little bit of understanding. But again, I want you to know that this isn't, woo-woo. This isn't esoteric. This isn't new agey kind of stuff here. This is the culmination of everything that we've been exploring together in these videos over the last, 4 or 5 months. And I'm trying to condense it here into one powerful truth. That you are all that you are. Because you are one with the all in all. See, it's a hard concept for us to think that, oh, I'm one with Jesus, I'm one with this light inside of me. And that doesn't make sense because I'm still a sinner, yeah? I'm reading Joe's comment here. I had a sibling put in a psych hospital when all the need was to feel loved by our father. Aw. I'm sorry to hear that, Joe. That's, love is the most powerful thing. It makes us feel like we're on top of the world, that we can, we're invincible. And I'm convinced that we were loved less so that we can love people more, so that we can love ourselves more, and we can love people more, because that's what this world needs. This world needs more of love. And we're learning how to love ourselves so we can love each other properly. So, understanding this mystery of mysteries will transform your perspective. I mean, this lesson will show you how to embody spontaneous courage, natural magnetism, and authentic charisma without needing to deceive yourself or anyone else. And you certainly don't need to go the narcissist to find all this stuff. You've got it right in here. You just got to take a look at yourself and search your soul for it. You don't have to try to become who you want to be, because you already are. I want to share something with you, and maybe it won't make sense to you, but I'm hoping it will. 2 years ago, I was really frustrated because I was frustrated trying to get this YouTube, platform going, and, trying to get clients and just help people. That's all I want to do. And I was just frustrated. I'm just like, God, you've given me dreams. I'm a teacher, so let me teach. And I'm a counselor. I've got peer support counseling, so let me counsel people. And I sat on a swing, and I just started swinging, and I just, felt childlike again. And God said, because you can teach, you can counsel, you already are. You don't need proof. And that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a client, or, viewers on YouTube to validate who I already am inside. And God was like, no, because you can do it. You've got the confidence in you. It's your gift because you can do it, even though you may not be doing it right now. The fact that you can do it says that you already are. See, I was too focused in the fleshly mind and not thinking in the spiritual. See, when you're rooted in the day, when you're rooted in the here and now, you're in a perfect position that is timeless, where there is no time. Time is irrelevant. You are eternal in this moment of now. You're one with God. But as soon as you allow your ego to take hold, that's where the struggle is, because it's a battle between good versus, evil in your mind. And the ego has latched on to those negative feelings to feel validated. And Jesus is saying, come to me, all who are weary and burdened. We're burdened by all of this freaking mess of ego and all these emotions. And Jesus says, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, for my burden is easy and light. So you don't have to try to become who you want to be, because you already are who you want to be. You're already it. It's just a matter of self-discovery now. So let's just unpack this together. You are the love that you seek. Let's just pause for a moment and reflect on that. Let's just truly sit on that. What does that look like? What does that feel like? You are the love that you seek. Just contemplate that. You are the love that you seek. Nobody knows your heart except for you. Nobody knows your needs except for you. You know you best. What is it about love that you're hoping to find? Are you hoping to find acceptance, validation, worthiness, wholeness, a sense of mattering? Is that even a word? But here's the truth, my friends. You already are these things. You are already accepted. You already are valid. You already are worthy. You're already whole, and you matter. And that's all of this is validated through the air that you breathe. Just by being steady and focusing on here and now and focusing on your breath. Are you seeing some of these videos that we did last week and the week before coming to light here in this video? Are you having your aha moment yet? Going, I see what you're getting at. See, we've been searching outside of ourselves for validation, for wholeness, for worthiness, and to find our sense of belonging. And where does that get us? Well, I found out that it doesn't work searching outside of myself to find somebody who finds me valid. I don't need somebody else's love that bad, and that's the thing. Having somebody else's love is wonderful, but at what cost? At what cost? I'm not willing to forsake myself again for the narcissist, are you? Excuse me. I have felt such betrayal by the narcissist, but then it's like I neglected the betrayal that I betrayed myself over and over. Every time I said yes to the narcissist and I wanted to say no. Anytime I went over my moral principles and I dismissed what I knew about the Bible and about God's teachings and his love for me, and I just pushed my faith aside to live for the narcissist? For what? The narcissist doesn't do us any favors, and I ended up betraying myself, and I had to forgive myself for that. I'm not doing that again. What is found in here in your heart is far better than what you'll ever find outside of yourself. The process of looking outside of ourselves is proving to us that this is not where true love or true likeness of our being can be found. See, we've been struggling all this time, and we don't have to. You know, when you're ready to stop your struggling, you will. When you're ready to accept that that struggle is just an illusion, you will stop struggling. When you're ready to see the truth for what it is, because this is not just a physical war, this is spiritual. You want love? Love is not physical. Love is spiritual. Love is a state of being. And you already are that state of being. You proved that to yourself the moment you kept saying yes to the narcissist and letting that go, letting that discretion go, letting that pain go, letting that hurt go. You were unconditionally loving to the narcissist. And it didn't work because the narcissist wasn't loving unconditionally towards you or towards themselves. It wasn't your fault that the relationship didn't work. You guys were unevenly yoked. See, and this is the thing. You can't know what true unconditional love is until you're willing to experience it and give it. Because you're showing, by you giving the narcissist unconditional love, you are showing exactly how you want to be loved. You are showing yourself how to love yourself. And you know, this struggle that we go through, you know, the aches and pains and the worry and the doubt and the fear, all of that is discipline. And God calls discipline, well, if you're not being disciplined, then you're not counted as sons and daughters of God. That's scripture. Discipline is what helps to keep our convictions strong inside of us. So let's just, hi Sophia, nice to see you, shalom. How you doing? So let's just simplify this, okay? You are who you seek. You are the love that you desire. You are destined to find love because love already lives within you. Once you find yourself, you found love. Unconditional love is in you because of the one who dwells in you, Jesus. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You already are love. You already are everything good, everything whole, everything complete, everything you want to be. You are it. You are love, and love is you. Oh, doing good, Sophia. Thank you for asking. How you doing? So the truth of who you are has always been hidden behind this curtain of illusion, lies. Now, this illusion is something we call life. You know, the tangible things that you see around you. Well, okay, those aren't lies, but I mean, the narcissist brings in chaos into your life through lies, right? And a lot of times we just look to the tangible things we see on the outside of ourselves, and that keeps us from honing in and looking to our spiritual natures, as looking to the tangible things keeps us from reaching our potential and keeps us looking outside of ourselves, out here. Gotta look out here for love. I see my table, I see my cupboards, I see, my car, I see people. So that's life outside of me. So that's where I gotta go and grab life by the horns. That's where I gotta go find love. That's where I gotta go find forgiveness and validation. And in here, the Spirit of God gets neglected. See, looking to the outside of ourselves traps us in an endless pursuit of life. And the harder we fight, the stronger the illusion becomes. It's when we stop resisting and instead recognize that the illusion exists. That the illusion exists for you. And once you recognize that, the curtain begins to fall. It's like, okay, so we're given, good feelings, and we're given unwanted feelings, negative feelings, positive feelings and negative feelings, okay? So the narcissist, they evoke the negative feelings in us. Okay, even in childhood, our parents evoked negative feelings in us. But somewhere, good feelings, positive feelings were also evoked in us. And like I said on another live, that, when you're a tiny tot, when you're a tiny toddler, you have a blankie or you have a toy, and you carry it around with you, and it makes you happy, it makes you smile. So you think that the toy or your blanket is an extension of you. Your parents called it, a security blanket or whatever, but it wasn't that it made you feel safe. It was an extension of you, and all you needed to do was just hang on to it in order to comfort you and evoke these good feelings out of you. The good feelings didn't come from outside of you. They came from in here. You've been born with these feelings. It's just the feelings that were invoked from in here were because of outside stimuli. So when you understand that healing doesn't have to take as long as 10 years, 20 years. I've known somebody who has been 40 years in therapy. I've known somebody who's been in 20 years of therapy. I've known somebody who's been in 5 years of therapy and stopped because the therapist said, well, there's nothing more I can do for you, and whatever that was. I'm not certain, but healing doesn't have to take so long. I mean, the Israelites wandered the desert for 40 years, and they were only supposed to wander the desert for 4 years. The reason why our struggle is against principalities of this air, right? We think outside of ourselves, but there's a principality inside of us. It's a war against your heart. The hi Julian, nice to see you. Yes, thought forms, exactly. You know it, you got it. You're on it. And so it's like we give the enemy jurisdiction over our hearts and over ourselves, over our lives, the minute we allow ourselves to cry or feel sorrow longer than we should. Feeling these feelings are not wrong. Just like anger isn't wrong, God says do not anger or do not sin in your anger. Well, when we're sad, when we're feeling unworthy, when we're feeling we need validation, we need, somebody to love us, those are all feelings that are, these feelings are aroused in us from us judging ourselves. Nobody makes us feel bad. We're just responding to stimuli outside of us that evokes a negative response in us, a negative feeling. And it's us who give that feeling meaning. And, as tiny tots, when we hung onto our blanket and our blanket made us feel good, evoked those happy feelings, we thought that this blanket was an extension of ourselves, and that's what we still are believing. We haven't grown up and matured yet, so we're thinking that these negative feelings are an extension of ourselves. But you've got this duality inside of you, this duality to feel good feelings or feel bad feelings. You can't feel good and bad feelings at the same time. Either you feel bad feelings and those good feelings go in a state of dormancy, or you feel the good feelings and those bad feelings go in a state of dormancy. Jesus says a divided house can't stand. So what's your house going to look like? You love Jesus, but no, I'm a bad person. I feel so bad. I've been there. That's me too. No, Jesus, I know you're in my heart, but no, I'm just not worthy of this. I'm just not worthy of this gift. No, yes, give it to me, but no, I'm not worthy. Yeah, that's me too. You should see sometimes in my prayer. My prayer life is like so childish. Like I'm bawling and sobbing to the point where I'm dry heaving in my prayer time, because I'm battling. I'm not going to God in confidence. I'm going to God battling myself, my ego. Satan's right there with me, my attached, trying to get me to attach my self-awareness to this ego. Oh, you feel bad, eh? Well, there's nothing. Remember what your mom did to you. It's like, no, I laid that down. I've forgiven her. I'm not going to pick that back up again. But see, that's the thing. When all of this has to do, all of these bad things, all of the trauma, it goes back to one thing. It goes back to judgment. And why do we feel judged? Why? Who cares? Who cares if somebody looks at us the wrong way? Who cares if somebody gives us the stink eye? Oh, they hurt my feelings because they looked at me the wrong way. Who cares? Maybe they're having a bad day. Don't make it personal. It's not your business to know what other people think about you. And no, I'm not invalidating your feelings. You have every right to heal as you should heal. But what I'm saying is there comes a point in time where psychology and you have reached the apex or a plateau where you can't go anymore because it's not up to you anymore. You can take your healing as far as you can take it. And then you've got to give it over to Jesus, because Jesus already dealt with the negative feelings on the cross. It's done. We learned that, 2 weeks ago? About time. See, The world is steeped in all sorts of illusions to evoke these negative feelings from us. Because Jesus is your joy. The joy of the Lord is my strength. So get this. Jesus is joy. You can do all things in Christ Jesus, who is your strength. The joy of the Lord is your strength. That's why God tells us to be happy in good times and in bad. He doesn't want us complaining. Even when things are falling apart around us, we're not supposed to be complaining. We're supposed to not meet it with any emotion and say, okay, that's all right, God, I need a solution for this problem. Thank you. Or you fall down and you scrape your knee and it's like, that's okay. I'll clean it up. It'll heal. It hurts like a son of a gun, but that's okay. I can still walk. I'm going to be fine. You nurture yourself through it. You love yourself through these things. But the moment something bad goes on in our lives, oh, it's a disaster. Oh no, I'm going to fail. Oh no, this is so bad. And all you're doing is fixating on the problem, and you're sowing more problem as you're looking to the disaster. Like your ego thinks about the worst case scenario. Is that love? No, that's judgment. That's judgment. Every bad feeling that you have, every bad reaction that you have, the negative unwanted feelings, the sadness, the resentment, the anger, the unworthiness, the feelings of abandonment, the feelings of rejection, all these are negative feelings, and all of it stems from fear. And fear is about judgment. But when you meet your problems or some conflict, you know, you have a bill that comes in, and instead of going, oh my gosh, I've only got 2 weeks to pay this and I lost my job, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Instead of doing that, you can say, okay, well, the date on here, it says I've got 2 weeks to pay it. I've got time. I can lay this aside for now. I'm not going to give in to panic. I'm just going to trust God. I'm going to take this to prayer, and maybe God will, you know, he'll tell me what to do. I've got time to figure this out. You don't meet your conflict with the negative emotion that this conflict is meant to evoke in you. That's how you overcome the judgment. That's how you overcome the illusion, because this illusion is a test by the enemy to keep people at arm's length from who they really are. Because the world is steeped in these negative feelings, fueled by academia, government, society. And it's all smoke and mirrors, designed to feed or fuel agendas and strip us of our God-given identity. It leads us to misidentifying ourselves and mislabeling others. But that misidentification serves a purpose. When we strip away the labels and falsehoods, we begin to see who we truly are. And you can, you can be either or. You can allow yourself to be sad, or you can choose the opposite and give yourself permission to be happy or be joyful. Instead of looking at a bill and saying, oh my gosh, they're going to cut me off in 2 weeks. You can smile and be glad. You know what? Thanks, God. I've got another day for, this heat, or I've got another day for this electricity. I've got a 2-week time period. I've got electricity. I can cook my food for 2 more weeks. Okay, thank you, God. You've given me time to come up with a plan. You've given me time to think this through and let you help me through this. Thank you, Jesus. We've forgotten how to do that. Because the narcissist teaches us such negativity. I was saying today that the narcissist I was married to, it was always, he said quite frequently, oh, I always get kicked in the teeth. Why do I always get kicked in the teeth? Life never, life is never for me. And, why does everything always bad happen to me? And I'm like, I used to be cheerful and say, it's okay, cheer up. If, say, he's the one that got this bill in the mail and, he'd be like, why do I always get kicked in the teeth? I've always got this late bill and how am I going to pay this now? And I'd be like, I would be the one saying, well, look at the date. You've got 2 weeks from today. So, a lot can happen in 2 weeks from now. A lot can happen in a day, but 2 weeks, wow. A lifetime could happen in 2 weeks. You've got a lot of time left. This is a good thing. Oh no, it's not. Shut up, Shannon. So it would be like my joy would be stifled. And I've noticed because of that, and even though there isn't a narcissist around me, I noticed that I adopted their ways where I stopped being myself and stopped tapping into that joy, stopped tapping into that promise and that hope for something better through Jesus. And so yesterday I found myself just tapping into that, telling myself, I'm happy. I'm happy. And then look at me. I start this video and I said, welcome to Positively Spiritual. My name is, and what did I say? Positively Happy or something like that, or Positively Shannon, something like that on the introductory of this. It was a Freudian slip. A Freudian slip because here I've been engaging myself into beneficial patterns that keep me on the straight and narrow of narrow-minded thinking that, no, I'm not going to think negative. I'm going to think happy thoughts for myself. That's all it takes. 24-hour turnaround. You'll see it. Maybe you'll have your own Freudian slip too. But everywhere you look, there's situations and people and scenarios and teachings that all try to evoke this negative responses from us. And I'm not depressed. I'm extremely happy. There we go. There we go. You've got breath in your lungs. You've got food in your belly. Even if you don't have food in your belly. You know what? You're happy. You're breathing. You get to live a new day. Oh my gosh. Hi, Sophia. So Sophia says my hydro went out 2 weeks ago for about 2 weeks. And within the 2 weeks, I felt so much peace and gratefulness for having a roof over my head, a bed to sleep in, and overall serenity and closer to God. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for sharing that. God be with you. God be with all of you. So, I remember I'm not going to share it. No, I don't want to take away from your story, Sophia, but I just remembered something too, and I'll share it another time. But, we just have to get back to praising God and praising Him in the good times and bad. Happiness is a choice, just like sadness is. And yeah, okay, we can give every reason why we should be feeling bad for ourselves because life sucks. But you know what? You keep sowing that and you keep fixated on that, you're going to get more situations and scenarios in your life that cause you to steep in those negative feelings. We want our lives to change. You got to renew your mind. That's what the Bible says. So understand that, these negative things in our lives, we're desensitized to them because we've been raised and reared up in them, from schooling and society and government, and even smoking was considered, oh, it's cool, it's a cool thing, so it's like bad habits nowadays are considered good, right? So God bless you too, Jessica. So when we strip away the labels that we have for ourselves and the falsehoods, we begin to see who we truly are. Just because we feel sad doesn't mean we are sad. Just because we identify with some sort of outside stimulus that is evoking some sort of pain, like, oh, my bill needs to be paid, or I don't know, I've got a hospital bill, or I've got that test with the specialist here in 2 weeks, whatever it is. I mean, if we focus on the negative, we're just going to bring in more negative. So the thing to realize is that you can't see what you can't see. You don't know what you don't know. So if you don't know what to look for, if you don't know to look inside yourself for that happiness and joy, because Jesus is your joy and Jesus is inside of you, so you just need to tap into that joy. And you're thinking, okay, well, what does joy feel like? Maybe I'll go watch some funniest videos and get my happy on. No, you don't need a reason to be joyful. See, this outside world tells us you need a reason to feel sad. You need a reason to feel bad. And if you need a reason to feel bad and sad, then you need a reason to be happy. No, you don't. Oh, good. I'm glad you're getting help. Thank you, Lord. You don't need a reason to be happy. And if you want one, there is only one reason and one reason only. Jesus. He's your reason to be happy. He lives and dwells inside of you. He chose you to live in. That should make you happy. But here's the thing. You can't recognize this. You can't recognize who you are, that you are love and you are all that you are seeking. You can't recognize this until you first see its contrast. Aw, thanks for the loves. Back at ya. So when we stop fighting those negative emotions inside of ourselves and we take a look at them, we think they're raging at us, oh, I'm mad, and oh, I'm sad. And you take a look at them, they're just a little kitten going, meow. That's it. That's all it is meow. And how you get past that is just nurture those negative feelings and saying, yes, I understand that you were hurt. I understand that mom hurt me. I understand that this happened to me. Yes, but it's not happening to me now. And then you look at it objectively. By standing on the outside and going back into the memory, and you stand on the outside of that memory and you look at it through adult eyes, if you were the parent, if you were, if you're going back in a childhood memory, then who you are now stands as your little mini-me advocate. The person who went through all of that pain. Who you are now didn't go through that pain. It's who you were back then who went through the pain. And so you take who you are now and you observe who you were then, and you address the pain and the conflict through the eyes and the knowledge that you have now, if that makes sense. Oh, haven't you heard whenever, like, you know, it's funny because when two girlfriends, you know, start fighting and it's a cat fight, what we do here is, you know, say I have two girlfriends in front of me and they're fighting, and then I go, you know, and that shuts them down, and they look at me and it's like, well, you two are fighting, you know, and they're just start. It's just a funny thing we do. So yeah, cats are cool. So the thing is, when you look at yourself, when you start seeing, when you see your negative feelings as not being the enemy, as, you know, God says, do not resist an enemy. Well, you stop resisting them, you stop fighting them, you just observe your feelings, and you treat those feelings that are attached to the you who was in the past. Men start barking loudly, exactly, woof, woof. That's who let the dogs out, woof, 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 woof. You know that song, right? So, I digress. Oh boy, yeah, I'm tired. I get overtired, I get silly, goofy. But when you just look at these feelings and you address them, and you can even look at those feelings through the lens of Jesus, through the heart of Jesus, because you and Jesus are one. So you look at those negative, unwanted feelings, and, you know, it's like Jesus was in the desert and he was confronted by the enemy 3 times. And did Jesus cry and lament and say, "You're hurting me, stop it, go away"? No. He just was point blank and spoke the word of God, who he is. He remained true to himself. So that's what God is wanting you to do. Remain true to who you truly are. God gave these negative feelings to you so that you could make a choice. He didn't want you to be forced into choosing him. He wanted you to choose to love him by having a choice. You can either choose to have these loving feelings or follow these negative feelings. So the illusion of these contrasting emotions is the illusion, as they help us to see who we truly are. And when you just stop fighting, see, when you don't give the enemy wants a fight because the enemy wants your fear. And the enemy can look the most grotesque individual that would evoke the most terrifying fear from you. If the enemy knew that, you know, what you are scared of, it's going to make himself look like that to evoke fear from you. But if you overcome your fear and you don't, nothing grotesque or demonic scares you anymore, well, then yeah, that monster, gargantuan monster with the big horns and big freaking honking teeth, you know, he just starts, you know, he's not so large and charged anymore. He just like shrinks down into this little tiny kitten. Meow. That's it. When you stop resisting your feelings, that's when they go away. And when they go away, that's when you know who you are. You have that power because you are one with Jesus. The love of God dissipated those feelings. There's no healing involved. It's the love of God. And what is it? Unconditional love covers all wrongs. Love covers all wrongs. Love is the salve that you need. So stop fighting yourself. It's like two boxers in a ring. They're supposed to box each other, but what if one boxer just said, no, I'm not fighting you today. I have no reason to fight you. You're not my enemy. I don't want to bash your face in and cause you bruises for $10 million. Like, that's not worth it to me. I'd rather have you as my brother. And the other boxer is like making a face and saying, come on, you a-hole, and all this, and just trying to evoke everything in him, and and trying to, jab him in the shoulder, trying to provoke him, getting right in his face, and and the guy who wants peace just says, no, not today, sorry, not today. And just stands there and just, no. The other boxer isn't going to pull the first punch, I guarantee that. He's not going to. There's no fight. To have a fight, you need two participants. If you stop participating in this fight that your negative feelings have, if you just, okay, I feel sad. Don't say I am sad. Say I feel sad. I feel worried about this problem. I feel anxious. Your feelings can be dealt with, but don't take that on as a state of being. I am sad. I am unworthy. I am rejected. No, don't take that on yourself, because you're becoming one with those feelings, and no. You're one with the I am, who is your joy. And joy dissipates it. If you tell the truth to yourself, to the person who endured all of that in the past, you can say, yeah, that was then, and I know you were hurt back then, but we're not being hurt right now in this moment. So how can I help you right now in this moment? What do you need from me? Minnie Shannon, what do you need from me? Well, I need a hug. Okay. Hug. But I need to feel loved. Okay, let's go stand in the mirror and I'll tell you I love you. But it makes me feel funny. Well, that's just because you haven't heard it for a long time. Let's just make this a daily habit. And I'll tell you that I love you in the mirror. And I guarantee after a week, it's not going to feel so icky. This is learning to build trust within yourself. Because whatever you say to yourself in positivity, it's coming from Jesus. It doesn't come from you. Negative feelings are of the enemy, but positive feelings are from God. Because they are Him. You have been created in the image of God. Good and bad was created by Him. Go look up John chapter 1, verse 1 and verse 2. So, when you stop fighting, the illusion collapses. The lies go away, as the lies are meant to prevent you from seeing who you truly are. You'll do the mirror thing one day, Sophia. You haven't done it yet? You're missing out. I know it's one of my favorite scriptures too. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. Exactly. God is energy. Yep. You know it, girl. So what is the truth? Well, it's definitely not what the narcissist is telling you. It's definitely not what academia is telling you, or the government, or what other, all the freaking gossip hounds and, I want to say whoremongers, but that's not the right word. The crazy makers, the people who just are, they're just the liars. Like, the liars make no sense, but yet they rule the world. And the truth is, you need them to help you come into your being. Thanks for the loves. Thanks for the what is that, clowns or hearts or roses or 100%? Okay. So the truth is this, that you, as an empathetic individual, are unconditionally loved already, as you are unconditional love. You're created in the image of God. You're created in the image of God our Father, and you are love, because you are the love you seek. It took loving someone unlovable and undeserving of your love for you to realize this, that you're unconditionally loved as you are unconditionally loved. Despite everything the narcissist has done, your love for them didn't cease. But loving them doesn't mean that you stay in their presence and keep taking and enduring more harm. It means that you've gained a profound understanding, a valuable lesson. Through loving the narcissist, you've learned how to love yourself. And you now have first-hand, undeniable proof of what unconditional love looks like and feels like. You became unconditional love so you could embody it. But now the truth is, you already were this. You loved because you are love. Somebody who isn't love is not capable of love. So, what you're seeking, you already are. And, you may protest, but I've done this, but I've done that, but I've done this, I'm such a horrible person. But guess what? That's judgment, and judgment has already been dealt with. So you can't be judged over and over and over and over again. That's the enemy. That's the illusion to keep you separated from who you truly are. So through the narcissist, you've learned how to love yourself. And this can't be undone. It never could be undone. The narcissist isn't capable of taking away your love. The trauma that you went through is not capable of taking away the loving person who you really are. It just hides it, as God says, hides it under a lampshade, hides the light under a lampshade. And it's time to just lift that lampshade off. See, this wall of illusion was to create conflicts for you so you would fight for what you are seeking. You are what you seek. And God says, seek and ye shall find, because you cannot be forgotten. Your love was lost. It was just hidden behind illusionary details of life called the ego. Now that you have found yourself, life becomes so much easier to live, as you're not fighting the heartache, you're not fighting in the pain. The ego is an illusion. It blinds you to the truth and leads you astray, projecting false feelings onto you, convincing you that you're still in danger, convincing you that you are what you feel. You feel sadness, so you believe you are sad. You feel unworthy, so you assume that you must be unworthy. And when we seek comfort in a world full of egos, oh my gosh, their projections only reinforce this illusion. The outside world is simply a reflection of the illusion that we've created within ourselves. Did you know that Jesus has no ego? Look at the description of unconditional love. This is the character of Jesus of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. This character of love, we're already one with. You can't learn it. You can't develop it. It is in you or it isn't, and it's in you. See, love doesn't lash out. Love doesn't demand. Love doesn't say, oh, you're unworthy. And love doesn't delight in evil. That's the ego. That's what the ego does. And the ego thrives on our self-doubt and struggles. Like, it also thrives in our struggling. And it feeds on our negative feelings. The ego wants us to believe that we are the ego because that's how the ego stays alive. When we push aside the ego and we adopt love and we embody love, well, then what happens? The ego has to go into a state of dormancy. It's the value of opposites. Jesus never entertained the ego. Just think of the enemy when Jesus was fasting for 40 days in the desert. Think of the enemy as being the ego. Because, I mean, when you look at those three scenarios, what the enemy did, he was testing the ego of Jesus, but Jesus didn't have an ego. And Jesus didn't argue or debate or wrestle with the enemy. Oh, heck no. No, he didn't. Jesus just spoke the words of the truth because he is the truth. And basically, Jesus told the ego, no, I'm staying true to myself, so off with you. Hi, Sonia. Nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in. So the reasons why we struggle so much with our egos is that we are deeply, deeply rooted in them. We cling to the illusion because we are barely recognizable to ourselves because we can't see the light within. Why? Because we give Jesus so little of our time. The time rooted in the here and now. You know, breathe. And when your awareness is rooted in the here and now, you're not contemplating and thinking about woulda, shoulda, couldas, and who did what, who said what, how much pain you're hurting, and, you know, who hurt you and how that happened. You're not thinking about that. Because all that really exists is this moment of now. And this moment of now is all that's relevant because it's eternal. So when you give Jesus your now moments, you're giving him the authority over your life. And the more you align with him, the less power the ego has, and the clearer we can then see the truth. And we can step into our being and just be. We don't need a reason to love. We don't need a reason to be loved. We just are. So I hope I'm giving you guys something to think about. Because it's pretty amazing. You know, I've watched a toddler. Sorry. Trying to stifle a yawn. Sorry. I watched a toddler they fell down. And I mean, they really fell down. And I was just like, oh, I felt for that kid. But the parent didn't make a big deal about it. And the kid just walked up and just like, mom's like, you okay? And he's like, yeah, all right, we'll walk it off. And he just kept walking. And I'm just like, that kid is tough stuff. But it's like, that's something to admire. And that's how we are supposed to be childlike. We observe, we don't absorb. Yeah, we take the pain and we feel it, but we don't let that pain linger. So, yeah, childlike. So, well, I appreciate all of you too, Joe. Thank you. So, paying attention to the ego is our downfall. Yes, bad things happen to us as they are meant to. It's what disciplines us and makes us stronger. And you know, we can use these negative things to just push us in the direction of, no, I'm choosing to trust Jesus. No, I'm choosing to love Jesus, and I'm choosing to love myself, and I'm not laying any blame, no judgment, nothing. It is what it is. It's happening. Okay, Jesus, get me out of this. Help me. It's easy. And, you know, it's easy to get caught up in the ways of the world. But I want to leave this with you guys. And we'll continue this tomorrow if you guys want to. But I think I've said enough about this, that you want unconditional love, you already are. Just be. You want to be joyful, you already are. Just be. Just as you choose to be sad and lonely, you can choose to be happy and entertained by Jesus. Focus on scripture in those quiet times in your day. Focus on yourself and make your voice sweet and endearing towards your thoughts. Yes, Sophia, talk to yourself in the mirror. It's okay if you do. I believe the flesh is the ego. That's why it fights against the spirit. Yeah. Yeah, the ego is rooted in the flesh. Yeah, it's rooted to the earth. And it's very controlling. And the only way to stop the negative thoughts is to choose the opposite and allow yourself, give yourself permission to enjoy yourself. Like go take yourself on a date. Go enjoy a nice lunch by yourself. Go take yourself for a walk down the river, by the riverside. You know, go do something. Go ride a bike. Go do something fun for yourself. You already are that which you seek. The ego was taken care of at the cross. And the ego is trying to hang on now because the ego has been judged. But it's just waiting for its sentencing. Every negative feeling and every negative action that you have done has already been forgiven. And how you know that is because you have Jesus living in you. You and he are one. You can't be separated from him. That's the illusion. The illusion was that you were separate from him, but you never were. God forgave Jesus as God accepted the free will offering of Jesus' blood to take your place instead, so that sin would not destroy you. We allow the ego to destroy our faith because we are weakened and we don't know any better because we weren't taught this. So just practice letting go of the ego and letting God rule your heart. Let go of the pain by choosing joy over sadness, love over fear, and every time fear and sadness creep into your day, cast it out by choosing a happy thought. Ground yourself in the moment and just breathe. That's all you got to do. So I hope this video has helped you guys. So I have a really good question. So if we're not supposed to be rooted in the earth, why do people ground themselves? Well, because we're getting ions from the earth. So, you know, rooted to the earth is probably more of a spiritual metaphor of don't collect things of this earth, you know, like Jesus says, what moth can destroy, what moth and rust destroy, like cars. You know, shiny guys like their shiny toys. Girls like their shiny purses, right? And their shoes. Don't collect those things. But grounding, well, that's something all different together. Grounding helps you connect to the ions and helps re-energize you, as your body is a toroid, an energetic toroid. Where is it? Here. This is a toroid, a donut shape. So you're in the middle here. So like think of this donut as the energy, like your body is in the middle of this donut hole, okay? So the inside of your body is the vortex, and you've got energy circulating out in this pattern from up and around, up and around, up and around and through, up and around and through. So yeah, so this is it's an hand exerciser. I got it when I told you guys about that pain that I had in my hand. Well, that's what I got it for. So, but yeah, so your body's the energetic pattern is a toroidal pattern in you, and so you ground yourself to ionize your electrons so that you are more magnetic, and so that you are less likely to absorb negative ions from people or from things like the electronics, you know, the telephone wires and the electrical wires ahead of you, you know, on the street. So yeah, so grounding's good that way. So isn't that why Jesus walked barefoot? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I tried to read your comments. Okay. Just one sec. Oops. If you guys can get your hand on that, Earthling. So, yeah, maybe we'll read some of it. I don't know if I'm allowed to on the air on YouTube, but yeah, grounding. This is about grounding. So I haven't read it yet. Books fell down. So yeah, it's how many pages is it? Ooh. Got over 300 pages to read, 297 pages to read. So yeah. So everyone, my battery's running low. So, and I don't know where my cord is. So I'm going to say goodnight now, if that's all right. Thanks for hanging with me tonight. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. So I'll be more chipper tomorrow. I won't be going for a walk tomorrow. It's supposed to rain, maybe snow. So I'll have to do exercises and do the rebounder tomorrow. So anyways, you guys have a good night. Grounding yourself is the best. Barefoot outside on the grass. Absolutely, yes. So, all right, can you find out if you can? Yeah, find out what? Okay. Yeah, I'll find out. Yeah, I'll find out for you. And we'll, so it's raining here in Hamilton. Yeah, it's raining here too. It was frost this morning. I couldn't believe that. So, if you would give Jessica my contact info, okay, I will. I don't see why we can't share the book together. It is for everyone to share by, isn't it? Yeah, I just, copyright infringement or whatever. I don't know. YouTube is kind of sour that way. So I'll check into it and see if I can. And if I can read it, we'll read it. So, yeah, I will read it to you guys. I think it'll be fun. Cool. All right, so everyone, you guys have a good sleep, and we'll meet back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern. And if I don't see you tomorrow afternoon, join me tonight or tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern. So thanks, everyone. Good night. Sweet dreams and God bless. I love you guys. Bye.